Okay, so let's look at this next style. Up here in this top corner, up in here. Let's take the extreme. Quiet to outspoken, a 9.5. Unstructured to structured, okay, about a 0.5 point. So that would put the person right out in here, promoter, promoter. In here, be a promoter with a supporter influence. In here, it would be a promoter with the controlling influence. And in here, promoter with the analytical influence. So what's the promoter like? They are caring. But they're a little different, you know, than the supportive, because they'll tell you how much they care about you. Okay, so they'll vocalize it. And if you look good, they'll tell you look good. If you look bad, they won't tell you. So they can be caring. It's the controller that'll tell you if you look bad, okay? And they're caring and they're direct. They're right brain creative. And we're governed by our dreams and intuition. Okay? They're right brain. They make decisions quickly, just like the controller. But they do it spontaneously, which can be dangerous. We get excited. Spontaneity. We'll spend money that we shouldn't spend. Okay? You know, we will get into relationships we probably shouldn't be in. It looks good in the beginning. Okay? We connected immediately. You know? Now, the relationship and socializing are important to the promoter. Okay? I love relationship. I like to socialize. And I like to have fun. Am I open to change? Open to have some fun. Open to a bit of risk, a bit of adventure, right? That's important. Okay? And so we want approval, by the way, and recognition. So the promoters, they like approval, recognition. And so we want approval and applause, recognition. We love a recognition, and we like energy. Like, we don't like places that are dead. You know, let's have some energy around here. Get this thing cranking, okay? And their actions are fast, they're free, and at work, very cluttered. Okay? But it's cluttered, okay, at my place. It's friendly, though, and can be stimulating. Their speciality is being able to express themselves. They're expressive people. If they're talking to an Italian, within a couple of minutes, they'll have an Italian accent. Okay? You know, so they pick up on the vibe, the energy, okay? Yeah, they do. They really do. Their assets is they can be very persuading. So they can persuade you to do things you may not want to do. Or maybe you want to and you just don't want to admit it, okay? So they can be very persuading and they can be entertaining. Okay, they can be entertaining. And they start fast. Okay? One of the liabilities is they're unfocused. Okay, they can get off target. Okay? Their liabilities, unfocused, they can be careless. They can be careless and ignore the details, which can get them into trouble. Any SARS people in here? Okay? They don't like to lose status. Status is important to them. Okay? So they fear losing status. They're secure with visual approval. So they got to feel that visual approval. If they walk in and they're in sales and they walk into the business and they say, I'm the man, I closed it, I got it. And the boss says, isn't that what you get paid for? You know, it's not going to crank them up, okay? And they're secure when others are enjoying themselves. If they're throwing a party, they're always checking with everybody in the house. Are you happy? Happy? Good time? Fun? Okay? And they assess others' value by status, what positions they have, different titles and things of that sort comes in, and recognition the other person has, and also they're quite impressed with networks. You know, and you'll often hear them talking, I have 22,000 followers on Twitter. How many you got? You know? And they're inspired when pursuing something. So they love to chase. They love to pursue. And they like to be part of something. They do not like regulation. No. Don't like regulations. They don't like routine. And they don't like perfectionism, which sounds like they don't like analyticals. But you know something? They need analyticals to balance them out. Vice versa for the analyticals with these types. Okay? And under pressure, they'll attack. So if you say to them, look, out of the last 3 out of 4 meetings we've had, you have been late and you've been screwing it up for everybody else around here. A promoter would look at you and say, yeah, well, you're not perfect. You were late 2 weeks ago yourself, so do not give me a hard time. So they'll often attack, or if they're own the business, they'll come in and attack. If sales are down or things aren't happening, they'll say, I'll tell you what's wrong over here. You've been late twice this week. You've done this. You've done that. You got to get moving. And they'll attack to get things happening. Okay? And they can be sarcastic, and they can be superficial. They can fake it. Under pressure, if you said, where's that report you're going to put in here? Oh, geez, I left it home. I'll have it here in the morning. You know, they'll dance a little bit under pressure. Okay, they have a tendency to do that. Now, what kind of business would you probably find them in? Sales, yeah. Advertising, marketing, okay. Entertainment, comedians, okay. So they're going to be different, you know, they'll sway towards that side. It's not that they wouldn't be in development, but they're probably the concept person that sells it and puts the whole concept together. Somebody else has got to build it, okay. And they need people to take and follow through. Now, let's have a look here. In here, see, I don't have to meet somebody to get to know who they are. And who would agree that it's important to balance yourself out in your business of the types of people you have working with you? No, because you can recognize, I can talk to a PA and just say, I never met their boss, and say, tell me on a scale from 0 to 10, quiet, outspoken, where's your boss at most of the time? He's an 8. Unstructured to structured, he's a 1. Then I know he's a promoter. I better call my next appointment and tell him I'm going to be late. Because they're going to want to talk and expand. Right? If he's a controller, I know I better get in there, get down to business, and get out. Okay, give him a bottom line and don't bore him. Okay, with details. Now, I'll just show you how easy it is to read personalities. You guys are already good at it, I'm going to tell you right now. Anybody recognize that guy? Now, does he look like an analytical? No. No, what style is he? Promoter. Yeah, he's a promoter. I did, a few years ago, I did a 3-day strategic planning session for the communications director of the presidency when Mbeki was president. And I had the team of people that worked with him, and Zuma was vice president at the time. So I got to do the personality profiles for me, just a quick read on it. And they said Zuma was out about here, and he was in about here, so he just borders into promoter. Okay? How about this guy? Is he a promoter? No. When they charted him out, they said, for me, they said he's about a 2, a little above there, and he's about a 9.5, he sits in about here. Analytical. Okay, saving face. All the time Mbeki was president, I only saw 2 times that I remember in the newspaper where he had said something he shouldn't have said. He always planned it out before he spoke. He was very, very careful. Analyticals do not like to make mistakes. He made very few mistakes. His philosophy, even in reference to Mugabe, quiet diplomacy, fits for an analytical, doesn't it? Okay? And quite different. So no mistakes. He's going to be careful. How about Donald Trump? He's different than both of them, isn't he? Controller. You're fired. Out of here. Get out of here. Okay? You had your chance. Okay? And that's him. Okay? Controller. Now, it doesn't mean one's better than another. You can take Richard Branson. Richard Branson sits up and about here. Okay? So it doesn't mean one's going to succeed and the other isn't, but we're going to succeed in different ways, aren't we? Okay? How about her? Where's she at? The people in Cape Town told me they figure she sits in about here. That she's a controller, but she's also supportive. Okay? And so you can see that you can use a tool like this.